This video is brought to you by Surry Community College Physical Education Department. The topic of this video today is flexibility, and here to demonstrate the different stretches and warm-ups is Courtney Barnes. We'll start our stretching demonstration by starting out with some warm-up exercises. After a brief cardio warm-up to get the blood circulating and getting the body prepared for exercise, we would take the body through deep stretching for the major muscle groups to prepare for vigorous exercise. The first one Courtney will perform is a lateral neck stretch. This gets the neck loosened up and prepared for exercise. She's holding these for an approximate count of 15 seconds, or you could hold for 30 to get an even deeper stretch. Next, she's going to show us shoulder rolls, forward and backward shoulder rolls. Again, help to relieve tension in the neck and prepare the body for exercise. Shoulder stretches that she will perform. She will start with the tricep stretch. Take one arm, apply it between the shoulder blades, secure the elbow of the other arm, and pull into the triceps. This gets a deep stretch into those tricep muscles. Again, for a count of 15, preparing the body for vigorous exercise. Next, she'll do a shoulder stretch where she brings the arm across the body, again securing it at the elbow to get a good stretch within the shoulder cavity. For a count of 15, she switches, and we're ready to move on. Next, she'll perform a lower back and core stretch. Both of these together are prime yoga poses. First one being child's pose, allowing the body to deepen into the shoulder cavity, stretch the arms, and then a downward dog position stretches the lower abs and also the lower back, targeting the core. When she moves up, we go to inner and outer thigh. This allows us to get a good stretch in the groin muscles. And then switching for a count of 15. And then moving to hip flexors. One foot goes in front of the other while the other stays behind. As she presses with her hands on the quadriceps, this allows for a deeper stretch within the hamstrings. Next, for hamstrings, she will again have one foot in front of the other. You're good. Again, pressing down on the quads is going to get a good stretch within that back hamstring. Her front toe will come up slightly just to help get a deeper stretch within the hamstring muscle, so you can see how the toe comes up there as she applies pressure on the quadricep. Next, for quadriceps, she moves over for balance, takes one foot, secures it up among her toes, presses for a count of 15, and then is able to switch, again securing for balance if you're unable to do that standing solo. Last, we do a shin stretch for folks who get shin splints pretty bad or have trouble within their calf muscles. She's going to just simply press up against the machine. You could use a wall to do this as well, getting a good stretch within the calves and the shins. Now, after your vigorous exercise, the body is sweating and the heart rate is increased and the breathing rate is increased. So for us to be able to bring those rates down to normal in a healthy way, we want to be able to perform a good cool down of static stretches. Again, the importance of this is to lower the body's heart rate back to resting, slow the breathing rate, and to curb sweating. The first one we will do is a modified hurdler stretch, where Courtney will apply one leg folded in and the other she will stretch out with her hands. Very important to remember breathing here, and there's also some modifications. If you cannot make it to the foot, you can of course set a goal to reach for the ankles. Each time you go to apply this static stretch, breathe out and try to make the stretch go even further. And then she would switch legs and apply the same techniques on the other side. This gets a deep stretch within the hamstrings. Great stretch after vigorous exercise. Next we have the low back. So she brings both feet in front, and basically the same principles apply for breathing. She's going to shoot to touch as far as she can, breathing out as she goes, holds for a count, and then goes for the stretch again. Hopefully this time she can make it into a deeper stretch. Next we have the hip flexors. She'll bring one leg up and cross over the other, and she's going to pull that leg into the chest. This gets the muscle on the back and even the glutes a good stretch. She can twist around also to modify this stretch and give it a good low back stretch as well. And the last stretch she's going to perform is an alternative to the quadricep stretch that she showed you earlier. She is going to stay down and keep the leg tucked behind her. And she can either lay flat on her back or she can leave it up onto the elbow, whichever is most comfortable and whichever you're able to do. But this gives a good deep stretch in the quad muscle. After vigorous exercise, this is great to help loosen up the lactic acid. So thank you, Courtney, and this pretty much wraps up our segment on flexibility and proper cool down.